Something strange happened while I was here. I had a long list of A to Z, pretty much more than Z, so about 30 things on my list. Hey, they removed this bee colony a while ago. I gave up on that because there was a new video on the Japanese university that gives a Unix program. And I watched it. It's a little over, I think it's 40 minutes, 16 seconds. You know, the guy in charge actually has a sense of humor. I didn't know that. He never answered me on anything, ever. But now I decided that I started writing part of this application letter. The first thing that you got to do from July 1st to July 21st is the opening. You send in a letter of less than 1,000 words where you discuss your interest in a research project that would fall under these interdisciplinary fields of biomedicine sciences, as well as the physical sciences and all the different categories that they would both have. Biomedicine and physical sciences have dozens of categories each that fall in there, and they do have a lot of categories of mentors. So I just thought of something else to add as a second or third idea for research, just to broaden it. I don't think that they will punish me for having more than one, because they do say that, you know, within the first 2 months you might end up changing both your mentors in this program. It's a flexible, normal thing to happen. So I am now deciding that with this excitement I will use the money that's in my not-for-profit society, because I need a better computer. I'm tired of this backpack. I'm getting a sore back where I still don't have access to a pool to float because of jumping through inhumane hoops, and also people that pretended to want to support me are off the map. I don't know if they died now or what in buying a laptop. And also a masseuse, even for my birthday. None of them wanted to even lower their prices or do a trade, and they were overpriced. So it'd be nice to get a smaller laptop, which will be in the name of the society, because it's still, that's my end goal. That's really the last thing I want to do. It would help if I had a PhD more, but it's still not going to make a big difference. It's about finding a community that will allow me. But part of the research idea number 2 that I didn't put on my letter that I'm still drafting is how using my own Unix program, which is a combination of life skills, counseling, mental health, education training, which allowed kids I worked with, let's say that had autism, to find their voice by just having them feel heard based on these skill sets. So this would be measurable at a time where their brains are still maturing, that now there's more speech in their life, because if not their parents or teachers or doctors, they finally met the elusive Homo sapien Martin, and this has happened to me many times before. So I can easily replicate this, and it would fall under the research. Just offering a decency in a child's life will suddenly have a large impact. A decency that doesn't come from the medical doctors and the parents and the teachers in most cultures of the world that are suffering from domestication. So what I would do is, in the second idea of a program, research program, is it would be to make sure that I exclude what falls under the definition of domestication, which is part of every culture, and just offer witnessing this child's life and feeling heard through responding to nonverbal cues by them where they are communicating, and then suddenly have the voice and the words come out that they already know. They just haven't used them, which has happened to me before. And again, when this happens, you would think that the parents of these children or teachers or principals or school districts would say, "Martin, that's a freaking miracle." I'm just being an Homo sapien with sentience, compassion for others, and sapience, understanding the interconnectedness in social systems. And but it didn't, not in Canada anyways. So this other university in Japan, that could be the second idea, because it would be easily measurable and be enjoyable working with kids, and it would have an impact on their culture, because I can't seem to have an impact on my cultures here, Quebec or BC or whatever. So that's the second idea. The first idea, and I'm going to come up with a third one probably before tomorrow morning I wake up. The first one was to actually measure things related to the brain. And it's in my theory, but in my theory I can only measure behaviors. I don't have access to equipment to, do MRIs, for example, and they would likely do. So of course I'd have to learn a lot more about neurobiology, but it is something I started learning about in two of my university courses in my bachelor's degree. Quite complex, but back then I wasn't the learning specialist that I am now, so easier for me to learn right now. If you want to know what the third thing I come up with is, then you can ask in the comments.